Great to have you on the set.
Great to be here. Excited.
I mean, you have the crystal ball this year.
Well, it helps when Tadej Pogačar, Bradley and I were talking before the show, he's finished first or second on 4 of the 7 stages so far. So that helps a little bit.
All right. Welcome back to the Move podcast. I'm Lance Armstrong, joined by Sir Bradley Wiggins, Mr. George Hincapie. Still no hat.
I know. I keep forgetting. We'll get it going one of these days.
Tomorrow. The people want the hat.
All right.
And ladies and gentlemen, out from behind the curtain, Mr. Spencer Martin, the professor.
Thanks for letting me out.
Well, you know, I don't know if it was largely due to your wild success and outcomes. Yet another stage prediction today. We thought, you know, the guy's just crushing. We'll let you out from behind the curtain, as is the case each and every day. Today's show brought to you by and presented by Keto and IQ. Talking about stage 7. Alain, what do we do?
Stage 7, from Saint-Malo to Mûr-de-Bretagne, Gare-les-Dents. From Saint-Malo to Mûr-de-Bretagne, Gare-les-Dents.
Wow. We do have later in the show. You kind of, if you watch the race year after year, the helicopter shot does highlight a lot of yard art. You know what I mean? Or field art. People out there, hay bales. I saw, and I'm not a big fan of these, but I saw they showed one today that is the greatest I've ever seen, and we have a photo of it.
We're doing it now?
No, we're not going to. I want to save it. I want to tease it out, and I want to save it. It was exceptional. I don't know how they did it.
If it's the one I'm thinking that I saw as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. if we're thinking the same one.
We may not be.
Yeah.
Well, did you take a picture of the one that you were?
No, I can tell you it was of.
No, don't say it.
Okay.
Look.
And I can tell you, it takes a lot to get this man's attention in the early parts of the stage.
I know. In fact, we were watching. I was just kind of coming to, and I was like, whoa. I said, rewind that. It was like Dave Chappelle was on one of the nighttime shows, and he was giving this. He was telling about the first time he met Kanye West, and Kanye was was nobody, and Chappelle was already somebody, and Kanye just sinks in. Anyways, you got to look this up on YouTube. But Chappelle's telling this story of Kanye, and Kanye said, rewind that. Anyways, so I had to rewind it, and I took a photo of it. You get to see it later. This is going to sound like a broken record. Tadej Pogačar, ladies and gentlemen, won another stage of the Tour de France, his 101st professional victory, his 19th Tour de France stage win.
Yeah, we keep saying it over and over. I mean, keeps winning. But we do have some observations which could indicate, maybe not the dominance we've seen.
Yeah, there's right. And Sir Bradley will as we were watching, had some amazing insight. And I think you're right on this. In just having done this sport for so long and followed these guys for now years, you start to pick up on little things, and we'll get into all that. But before we do, today's show brought to you by Element. You hear us talk about it all the time, and you're seeing it in this tour. You're starting to see the race heating up. It's approaching 90 degrees. The boys are sweating a lot. You're starting to see that salt appear. It's all about hydration and rehydration. I personally am just a massive sweater, so that's a big issue for me. Element has it solved. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. No sugar, no gluten, no artificial ingredients, no BS. It is the real deal. Also, too, and you see it here on the desk, the sparkling drink stays salty, my friends. Get a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular drink mix flavors with any purchase at drinklmnt.com/themove. That is drinklmnt.com/themove. Stay salty. New partner today, Join. Join is joining us, right? Are you ready to unlock your cycling potential? Join is the #1 training app that puts a professional cycling coach in your pocket. You don't need a big goal to benefit from training. Join helps you stay fit, focused, and consistent even when there's no event in sight. Join keeps it interesting with challenges, variety, and smart progression with over 400 tour-level workouts. Join recalibrates when you miss a workout. I think this is a big thing. Like, people get sick, the weather rolls in, something happens, workouts change, life changes. It recalibrates if you miss a workout. Designed by experts with World Tour level experience, Join is your #1 cycling training app. You can now test Join 30 days for free. Visit join.cc/themove, join.cc/themove. Download it over there. And after my experience the other day with this man all the way to my left, I might be joining Join. Because whatever happened that day on that ride, I usually enjoy riding my bike. I did not enjoy it.
So is there a chance we ride again, or?
I'm going to join
the other day.
Last one here for a sec. We've talked about Huckberry, our wonderful friends over there, Andy and Rich. They've just created a monster. I've loved this brand. I've loved the platform for many, many years. They have been so gracious. And if you saw the social media clip yesterday of the Huckberry Chill Chamber, right? Show rolls live now. We figure we got to be right here and be ready. So outfitted the Chill Chamber. Shout out to our good friend Chad Mountain for originally dubbing the phrase Chill Chamber.
I love it.
I poached that from him. Huckberry Chill Chamber. Incredible. And the other thing about Huckberry is they spot brands cool brands before most people do. They were one of the first, for example, to spot Norda. Right. And I showed off my tote yesterday that everybody.
You got some slides on right now.
I got my Norda. Yep. Look at these slides. They're sick. And also amazing content over there at Huckberry. It's a daily newsletter. They send out over 1 million a day. Just a lot of fun stuff. And
I ordered 2 shirts from there 2 days ago, so I may wait till those shirts arrive before I put my hat on.
You paid for them?
Yeah. I'll give you my confirmation.
Guys and gals, right? Buy your dude something. Visit huckberry.com/themove. That's huckberry.com/themove. Special shout out to Austin, Texas. Huckberry down there in Austin as well. Look, Spencer, by the way, great to have you on the set.
Great to be here. Excited.
I mean, you have the crystal ball this year.
Well, it helps when Tadej Pogačar, Bradley and I were talking before the show, he's finished first or second on 4 of the 7 stages so far. So that helps a little bit.
Yeah, incredible. And today he had a phenomenal lead out by Visma, Lisa Bike. I'm still not on this.
Which is not his team.
This tactic. I mean, if you see he's beaten you handedly the last couple of stages, let's start attacking. Let's start using Matteo Jorgensen. Let's start using Wout van Aert. I mean, they did so much damage. There was 20 guys left after the first time up the Mûr-de-Bretagne, which means like that's a finish pace they set. I don't know. I feel like if they're all in for the mountain stages, why not just let their guys kind of chill or go for stage wins and not do the work for UAE? My opinion.
Yeah. I think it just shows, look, we're 7 stages in. These tours, we talk a lot about this current world of cycling and how fit everybody is, how fast they go. Guys are getting tired.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you hit. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Mûr-de-Bretagne is, if we all rode up it, we think it's a decent climb.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But would you ride up that thing and think that the Tour de France after one time up is going to have 25 guys?
No way. No way.
Huh? And Bradley, you've ridden it.
Yeah, I've raced up it. Yeah.
I don't think I ever did.
No, the year we did it in 2011 when Cadel Evans won, I remember leading him out, but we had some really hard climbs beforehand.
Yeah.
But it was a full
still
peloton.
A big full peloton.
I mean, essentially 80% of the peloton was still there.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on? So the level's getting higher. The gaps are smaller in the big mountains and seem to be larger in the small climbs.
Right.
Like, why exactly is that happening? Does anyone have a guess?
I think because they're racing so hard from kilometer 0. And, like we saw yesterday.
Day after day.
Day after day after day. We saw Van der Poel yesterday. I mean, a guy like that getting dropped near the end when it was just clearly because he had been doing a team time trial all day. the stages he won before that, they saved him to the end. He didn't have to hit the win once. But then you see when he has to work from kilometer zero, the effect it has on the best riders in the world. So that's what we're seeing. I mean, the 20 guys after the first time up Mûr-de-Bretagne, we were all kind of in shock.
Yeah.
And another question for you guys. I'm sure you're all up 4:45 in the morning watching the early breakaway. Why
about that,
is Visma so active in this? Or like Lance on Postal, would you guys have done that? You're trying to win the Tour de France. Are you saying, hey guys, I want you in the early moves? Like, why is Victor Campenaerts so active? Wout van Aert, because you said, George, don't they want to save everything for the mountains?
You would think, or they're thinking of, kind of what they did in the Giro, get one of their good guys in the front, have Jonas attack, but that's not happening, especially in these stages. Maybe in the mountain stages, I think it makes a lot of sense, but if they are in fact so confident with Jonas Vingegaard, I don't see why they're racing the way they are right now, unless they're even more confident that they need to tire out the UAE guys before they get to stage 10, where they'll be able to make a difference. I mean, we haven't seen Seb Kuss at all. No. So I'm wondering if they're just saving him, said, you just ride the Gruppetto, get through these first 10 stages, and that's when we really need you. So it could shape up to be something really interesting if that's the case. I'm hoping that's the case, but we have yet to see.
Well, Seb Kuss is shaping up to be, I think, one of the biggest question marks of this tour. Is that in fact the case? Or is he just not there this year? And I'm going to go back to what we said yesterday about it's tough to do 3 tours. Those can be career affecting. I think. Yeah, I agree. Not that I ever did it, but
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I agree.
And say they're planning for everything after stage 10. I mean, Bradley, let me know what you think. But we saw him at the Dauphiné. He did some decent stages, not the Seb Kuss that we know. But if he comes back to be the Seb Kuss that he has been in the last couple of years, he can make a huge difference.
Yeah. Let's not discount him just yet. I mean, this tour is long, and I also think the way that this first week has been raced, it's everything Seb doesn't want. He's a rider that will come to the fore when we get into the high mountains. And Monday, we were talking about Monday stage. That's where we'll get a true reflection of where Seb Kuss is at, I think. Yeah. In this Tour de France.
That's right. And it's also worth noting, we talked about how this first week has been raced really every day from kilometer zero. With yet again another breakaway today with Geraint Thomas. And we were just remarking, of course, you're old teammates of his and old friend of his and think very highly of him. Here's a guy who has won the Tour, who's approaching 40 years old. Yeah. Was second in the Tour of Italy last year. He finds himself in that break. Love your take on that, but I will say before you do, I've been that guy. I mean, 2010, you're there. You're like, what am I doing here? Honestly, I was like, what am I doing here? And you're looking for these early breaks, and it's I felt for him today. It's just not.
G's a class act.
He's a class act,
and to make the break today is some effort as well. Let's not forget this. They're not just letting these breaks go, as we saw yesterday. So there was every chance that when they were making that break this morning, the racing was as hard as it was. There was a thought process that this could go to the finish again, like it did yesterday. So for G to be there, but I also saw G's interviews earlier in the week where after the first few stages, he was saying, he was thinking to himself, have I gone a year too long here? Right. Why didn't I stop last year? With the crashes, he crashed at the Tour of Swiss before this race. But G is still 39th overall. I mean, as of this morning, he was 39th overall. So he's been there. He's been doing the team job for Rodriguez, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And G's not done in this Tour de France yet. But there is an element of that where he was in the break this morning and, it could have gone to the finish, but it wasn't to be. UAE did not let that go more than a minute and a half.
Or Alpecin.
I was going to say, Alpecin. I think it was all the fact that Alpecin was willing to do the work as well.
Yeah.
That changed the whole dynamic of the breakaway.
Johan had a point yesterday that he thought UAE and Alpecin had an agreement yesterday.
Yeah.
And then that could have continued over into today, knowing that Van der Poel wasn't going to take the yellow jersey today, or lose it at least.
Yeah.
So we did talk about that yesterday, but Johan did think
today was kind of payback. They had to.
Yeah. Johan did think that
makes sense.
That Tadej and Van der Poel had an agreement yesterday that we'll let you go, take the jersey off us, and help us, and that was kind of carried over into today.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Right. Collaboration, communication. This is a political race.
But what a difference! I mean, we talked about the last time they finished there. Spencer pointed it out. Van der Poel attacks the first time up. gets not a very significant gap, maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds, holds it the whole final lap by himself, and then still wins by 8 seconds over Pogacar. So, fast forward 2 years to now, I mean, what a completely different outcome, even though Van der Poel is obviously on really good fitness, as probably as good as he's ever been, but not only did he not attack the first time up, he was swinging on the back of the peloton, almost getting dropped. In fact, he might have gotten a little bit gapped at the top and then got dropped the last time up. Has the level gone up that much higher, or has his aggression after yesterday, it's a pain, he's paying for it today?
I mean, he had an amazing spring. I mean, that takes its toll. You saw him 2-3 days ago. He was cracked.
No.
I mean, it was, you don't yesterday, you don't see Van der Poel like that. Just laid out on the road, dousing himself. I mean, he looked tired, right? And you saw it today. And that would explain, or what you said, Bradley, would explain putting the team on the front for a large part of the day. For the record, I was not up at 4:45, but when I did get up, they were on the front. A couple of interesting things. Honorable mention, Oscar Onley. We talked about him yesterday. This young kid from Scotland gets third on the stage. Think about this. Right, Tadej and Jonas together. We'll talk about Jonas because I think I feel like he looked a lot better today. But shout out to Oscar Onley. This is one of the emerging stories of the 2025 Tour.
I mean, he's starting off with a bang.
If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, do you know who Oscar Onley is? I would have said I have no idea who you're talking about. This is impressive. He's riding a hell of a race.
Well, and his team, Picnic Post NL, is like facing extinction. If they don't get enough points to either stay in the World Tour or get the third, start getting the weeds here, the third slot of the second division teams, like they're not getting any wild card invites. So they need all the points they can get at this race.
Well, he's showing some talent, so that might be better for him.
Yeah.
To go on a different team?
Yeah.
Well,
he's probably got some clause in there that if the team doesn't stay at the highest level, he can.
Strange to me, he's on this team in the first place. Like
he came through the development team.
He's been on the team since he was a young kid.
Yeah.
So that's also cool. Right. Before we go to commercial break for Peacock, another just seemingly out of the nowhere. Here you got a group of 20 guys. Massive pile up percentage wise. I mean, they looked like there were 8 guys on the ground. Of course, we saw Almeida really banged up. The other one who was really, really banged up was Lenny Martinez. I mean, he looked like Mike Tyson hit him a few times. I mean, that was hard to watch as they were trying to pick him up. He didn't know up from down.
And there was no real reason for the crash as well.
They were trying to go back and show it. You just couldn't see. We couldn't figure it out. But nasty crash. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 2:32.
You love saying that, don't you?
All right, and we're back. Welcome back to The Move. And just real quick, and I know you had an observation you wanted to make, Sir Bradley. But yes, George, I do, as we go to that break, I do like that. I grew up watching all these cheesy game shows, Love Connection being one, hosted by the legendary, just totally flaked his name. Chuck Woolery. And it would always
how is Love Connection different from Love Island? Can you point out a couple of those differences?
They're very different. Tonight we'll sit around and watch them on YouTube.
Okay.
Anyways, Chuck was this cool debonair guy, and he wore this huge Rolex. Every time they went to break, he said, back in 2 and 2. But he made sure to show the Rolly 2 and 2, and he did it like that. I mean, anyways, and I guess commercials are longer now, so it's 2 and 3 and 2. Sir Bradley, what was you as we were going there and chatting a little on the break, just thoughts on Tadej Pogačar?
Well, I think there was definitely just an observation, but the racing that we saw all day, the first time through the Mûr-de-Bretagne, and then we got this stalemate about a K to go on the climb, and we were all kind of waiting for something to happen. And Tim Wellens did that pull. Now, Tim Wellens, if UAE ride like that and commit like that, we know what happens off the back of that. It's lights out. And for Tim Wellens to do a ride like that and a pull like that, if the plan wasn't for Tadej to launch off that and go full beans, and I think that was the plan, but I think there had to be a rethink of that plan when they heard Almeida had crashed. And so Tadej then found himself in a position where Wellens had pulled off. It was still 1.4 kilometers to the finish from there, I think. he may have thought that was too early to go, and we saw this stalemate. And then Tadej waited for his other teammate,
Jonathan Narvaez,
the Ecuadorian, and it kind of that. So from the crash from Almeida, I think it disrupted what their initial plan was, and I think the plan today was Wellens pull like that. That we only know, it's lights out normally off the back of that. And Tadej didn't know what to do in that moment. And he was, we saw in his interview after, he seemed quite concerned about the well-being of Almeida from that crash. And they had to have a rethink on the climb in the final.
And look, we've done that climb before. 1,400 meters to go. It's essentially only 400 meters of climbing left. The rest is a slight uphill, about 1-2%. We didn't really take a look at the wind, whether it was headwind or not, but perhaps it was just a smart decision. Okay, I'm just going to wait and see what these guys do here, as opposed to just leading them out to the finish line.
Well, I think we're seeing super interesting evolution from Pogačar, because it used to just be smash. Like the last guy goes, he always attacks. You could say, well, maybe he's not as fit as he wants to be. I kind of think we're seeing him grow up before our eyes. Like, okay, I lost a guy. Almeida's supposed to be here. And he waited for Narvaez. You could see him wait, because if he attacks, we know Jonas today was strong enough to go with him. And then, as George says, he's stuck on that false flat with Jonas. That gets complicated. I thought it was really smart just to wait for Narvaez to come back, get to the front. He had a nice little lead out from Remco. That always helps. And then he could do his thing, and he still got a time. The crazy thing to me is it's basically a simple sprint finish, and he gets time gaps on everyone but Vingegaard. That's shows you the level is just.
You could see though that Tadej not attacking caused confusion in that front. Everyone was kind of expecting
ready to go,
and Remco was on the front thinking, okay, this wasn't supposed to happen. And Remco didn't know what to do, so he just rode and carried on riding that tempo. But it was kind of they were all waiting for Tadej, and that was the point there. I thought now the way Jonas looked today, it would have been a moment for him to maybe get a jump on Tadej in that sprint, because when they do sprint, they stay the same. So Jonas has just as much speed as him, just not any more to pass him. So that was quite interesting. It was a good day for Jonas, I think, from that point of view.
I agree.
I'd love to know what Jonas was saying to Matteo Jorgensen with about 400 or 500 meters to go. He kept looking back, and I felt like he was saying, go, or something like that. I mean, they had two guys still there, really well represented, but they don't really have an advantage in terms of teammates against UAE right now, currently. But like we keep saying, maybe that'll change in the mountains. We keep saying that a couple of days ago when Pogačar attacked, normally every other race this year, he rode away from everybody with 10K to go, or even more, 40K to go in other races. Like you said today, he didn't attack. So maybe that's setting up for the anticipation for when we get to the mountains.
And if you want to hold out any hope that this tour gets exciting, and you want to become an armchair analyst of body language and tone, I thought Pogačar was subdued at the finish. And it could have been what you just laid out, Bradley, or it could have been concern for Almeida, or a whole host of other things. But he was more subdued than normal.
Well, he also did a one-arm salute today, and not the full,
not the double.
Yeah.
Now we're really breaking.
Well, but we saw. How excited, when he won the other day's 100th victory, it was a full fist pump energy. Today was just a kind of subdued one arm.
So do you think that's he's
I don't know. Just we're picking holes here and things, and we're trying to
we're looking for hope,
but we're also trying to keep this tour alive, aren't we? And
exactly.
not sit here and say it's done.
No, I agree.
Right.
Well, they did lose. They lost a card to play. Like the Almeida crash, that's all Tadej now. There's no plan B. They can't get cute in the mountains. Does it actually help him though? Does it help Pogačar's main goal of now I have a dedicated domestic, assuming he's fine and can ride?
You would think so, because then he can do his work and just not try to keep his overall position, which is a big advantage for a guy like that. Not having to worry about the last 5K of the climb, just do his job and seeing the douches.
Yeah, he's going to feel that crash.
Oh, yeah.
When they showed him at the finish, he was torn up. All over, and that's the other thing too. Sometimes you hit on one side, and you've just got the road rash on one side. So you say to yourself, because with road rash, obviously you get sore from that, but it affects things, really important things like sleep. Right? So if you just land on one side, you say, that's okay, I'll sleep on the other side tonight. He had it all over the place. At first, I thought he caught a little more grass / side of the road. Clearly, he didn't. That's going to affect him, and he just didn't. You saw his face at the finish. He was miserable. And a crash that probably just never should have happened.
Hopefully those other guys, Eddie Dunbar went down hard.
Martinez was down.
Martinez, who won yesterday? That's in my mind. Heaney.
Ben Healy went down.
Ben Healy went down.
Yeah.
Think about going from the highs of yesterday to
apparently
busting your ass. Hopefully these guys are okay. I mean,
Dunbar apparently has gone for a scan on his wrist.
Two of the Bahrain guys were messed up. They weren't moving. I mean, it's scary stuff.
I'm proud of you. You're getting closer. Remember years ago?
Bahrain.
Years ago, they first started sponsoring this team, and they spent all this money, and people like us sit up here and George just absolutely butchering their name. Bahrain. Like, whoa, what?
Yeah, you don't want to see that, and it's very uncommon with a group of 25 guys so close to the finish. Yeah, 200 guys still there. That's normal, a crash like that, but something like that just means that they were just going so hard on the gas.
Yeah.
Heart rates at 190, 200, and you just can't react as quick.
Yeah, a little bit in the forest there, so you get these splotches of sun and shade. That's always tricky on the eyes. Guys are tired. Maybe just missed something across the wheel and. But look bad.
Not only that, when you're in a group like that and you're coming close to the finish and it's only 20 guys, the last thing you're thinking is going to happen is the crash.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're in a group of 150 guys, you're ready, elbows out, you're super aware. They're just thinking about, I'm recovering, trying to get to this next climb to see how good I can do. They're not thinking about having to avoid a crash whatsoever.
No.
Okay, I can't wait any longer. I have to. I've spent, 30 years watching coverage of the Tour de France and these helicopter shots of castles, creeks, yard art, hay bales, whatever. This is unbelievable. All right, this is the local soccer field.
Wow.
I have no idea how they were able to do this. That is Bernard Hinault, of course, from these parts of France, was in the race today in the lead car. Really cool to see him there. I mean, we don't need to sit here and be like art critics, but this is incredible.
That really is.
That's AI for you.
Oh, I never thought about AI. We always talk about, everybody talking about what AI will do for us.
This is a stupid question, though. What flag is that?
The Normandy.
That's the Normandy flag.
Is it the Breton flag or the Normandy?
Breton, one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. The Breton flag, the black and white.
Nice.
Which is it's like a sister language to Welsh, right?
Yeah.
Like the Breton language.
So, yeah.
Gabrielle, put it up one more time. This is just too good not to look at. I mean, anybody in that part of whoever busted out their lawnmower and did that, just tell us how you did it. Send us a little clip. We're going to talk about tomorrow's stage. We're going to take some questions. I'm going to put Spencer on the spot, maybe who he's got for outcomes later in the day.
Well, then they won't watch outcomes.
Okay. Well, then that's up to him if he wants to answer. It's his show. So if he wants to
change my answer, I do my meditation on the ride home too on this stage. So this isn't the real canon answer.
Okay. As I said at the top, today's show presented to each and every day by Ketone IQ. Tons of different options here, different flavors. Now, caffeinated options. This we're seeing so much of this in the peloton and in other professional sports. It's been a game changer, right? The impact of ketones as a fuel source on the peloton, I think at this point is undeniable. What else is also undeniable is the science behind it. In a placebo-controlled study with trained athletes, Ketone IQ boosted average sprint power by 19%, peak power by 13%, cut fatigue by 10%, also spiked blood ketones 5x in 20 minutes. Obviously, they've teamed up with Team Visma Lisa Bike. That's where a lot of this research is coming out of. A few other key findings: improved blood flow, higher muscle oxygenation, better endurance and stamina. Take your shot. Get 30% off your subscription plus a free gift with your second shipment at ketone.com/themove. That's ketone.com/themove. I wonder what the gift is. They sent me some.
Some guys are coming here today or tomorrow, so we can ask them.
Yeah. Maybe one of those cool workout towels. They sent me these workout towels. Like, whoa. Everybody, it's like the easiest, the simplest things. You know, people send you like really fancy things. You're like, I have a lot of these, but
I like
it's
the
like
fancy
little.
stuff too.
I know you do. Also today brought to you by Roka. Roka has completely reinvented eyewear. These are glasses optimized for performance. They are unbelievably lightweight. They do have the best optics on the market. They never slip, no matter how sweaty you get, Lance. And really cool, they're working with the Special Forces, hand-built to order in my hometown of Austin, Texas. For once, you don't have to compromise on performance or style. And the way they build them, you can pick anything you like and know that they work for marathons, workouts, trail running, high rocks, whatever you like to do. The Move listeners get 20% off. Just go to Roka, R-O-K-A, Roka.com. Enter the code THEMOVE at checkout.
We haven't shouted out Kevin Bacalon either. I mean, the guy continues to impress. I actually didn't really consider him as like being able to hang on in the big mountains. Spencer pointed out he got second place in the Tour of Switzerland.
That's right.
He's full of confidence right now. You can see the whole team is behind him. It's been quite the start of the Tour de France for Kevin Bacalon.
Contract's up.
In the team maybe is folding, or so if he does well enough, maybe not.
I mean, you would think he has a home for 2026, but it might be down to a few teams. That is guaranteed to motivate any athlete, not just a cyclist, but any athlete.
Yeah,
like that kid.
Yeah,
there's some good stories.
He's like having a good time too, which you can't underrate because I think he's from Normandy, so we've technically left his home region, but he like after the stage every day, you can tell he's just like having the time of his life. Good vibes, can't underrate him. George is worried he'd crack in the mountains, but I'm not so sure. I'd actually, with Almeida out too, that third podium spot wide open. So keep an eye on.
So who are you giving the second spot to?
What about Remco?
I think if we're being realistic, it's Tadej. I mean, from what we saw today, it's Tadej and Jonas. Remco, I don't know. I mean, I hope Johan Bernil's not watching or I'll be in big trouble. But the climbing, to me, big question mark. Like Dauphiné, like she feels like he was getting dropped by Florian Lipowitz on the climbs in the Dauphiné. Like maybe he's turned it around, but
I have a feeling we're going to see a completely different climbing capabilities since it's so late in the Tour de France. We keep discussing it from Remco, from Jonas. I keep in the back of my mind, I have hope that they've been planning to reach their peak climbing, after 10 days of just getting through these stages, which they've done more than get through. I mean, Remco's won a stage. Jonas has been second, third a bunch of times. But they're in ideal position right now.
Okay, so it's wide open for that third spot, right? You even got to throw a Matteo Jorgensen in there, don't you? I mean, Bacalon, Jorgensen, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, let's hope we're as interested in this as we are in who wins the yellow jersey.
I mean, I don't think we should be too down. I mean, that was a good showing from Jonas today.
I think everything we said today is spot on. There was I'm going to chalk it up to him being concerned about Almeida, his being subdued in the post. Something was off. And Jonas looked good. Let's just hold on to that.
The thing with Jonas is aside from the time trial, which we had a theory on yesterday as to why he maybe lost so much time, you take Tadej out of the picture, Jonas is clearly stronger than anyone else in this tour.
That's right.
So, let's hold faith in him.
On the time trial, I saw today from Visma that they identified the problem in the time trial.
Okay.
But they are not telling us what it is.
I bet you.
I was about to say, here comes a scoop.
I know we're going to talk about tomorrow, but the next 2 days, now we're talking about stage 8 and 9 of the Tour de France.
Yeah. Now we're in the meat of it.
You've gone through the crap stuff. But arguably, these sprint stages could be some of the most dangerous, impactful stages of the whole Tour de France thus far.
Yeah.
I mean, the sprinters are going to risk their lives to win a stage. I mean, the amount of work and risk they're going to take, and that's going to make it dangerous for the GC guys. Hopefully, we don't see anything happen. But if it was me back in our day, I know that I'd be looking at tomorrow and the next day going, shit, man, I hope we get through this because we've gone through everything else.
Yeah.
But now when everybody feels like they have a chance, then it makes it a lot more dangerous.
Let's look at tomorrow. 171 kilometers, up and down kind of all day long. Okay. Yeah. Oop, there it is. Got that sprint almost exactly halfway. Little schnock at the end with 16K to go. Nothing to speak of, but this is one for the sprinters.
Yep, for sure.
I did have a look at the run in just because kind of you're talking about crashes and we expressed concern or we had questions about the run in several days ago. Actually, I mean, Sir Bradley, look at this run in. I mean, this is interesting, right? You're down here, hard right, big roundabout, 2K to go, another. You know, they're just not that straightforward. You don't know. I mean, you got to be a heads-up bike racer. But we're looking at I guess we could have a breakaway.
Yeah, I mean,
you're starting to look at the last opportunities for the sprinters.
There'll be a breakaway that the sprinter teams will let get away just to have control.
Neutralize.
They'll go to the front right away, keep them at 2-3 minutes, and then reel them in.
I mean, we have
Little Trek tomorrow. Have to. This is Jonathan Milan.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure.
We're looking at 2 more true sprint stages left. Champs-Elysees may no longer be one of those. Right? So,
and the bucket of points available too in these sprint stages. So it's like Girmay and Milan. If they're really serious about green, like their teams are going to have to do a lot of work.
And did you see that sprint today? How easily Milan won that sprint?
He's the best intermediate.
He won by like 3-4 bike lengths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was on a different planet in that sprint.
Still got to get to Paris.
Yep.
Questions? We got any by the way, on the questions front, if you do have questions, send them over. info@wedo.team, info@wedo.team.
I've got 2. So the first one's for Bradley. So this is from Carl. He said, I know Pogačar was the 5th rider in history to wear all 3 jerseys, but how many have lost them all on the same day? Do you know the answer?
I don't know the answer to that.
You know more about the Tour de France than anyone I know. I had to look this up. It's one person, Bernardino.
Okay.
So not bad company to be in.
No.
And then the second one, I think I know the answer. This is from Will. Do teams listen to each other's radio channels? If not allowed, are the rumors they listen in signal steal?
They definitely used to, didn't they?
Yeah.
Definitely. Used to have a scanner, didn't they, and scan across the...
I'm going to take the 5th. I'm going to take the 5th on that. Look, so that gave you your answer. But now we're, and I love this idea. I've said this for many, many years. There's always been this debate about race radios, communication between the riders and the team car. There are 2 camps, right? There's the camp of we shouldn't allow this. It's making the racing too predictable. The athletes don't have to think, et cetera, et cetera. There's also a camp that says, for safety, and for wanting to be a modern sport, you should have communication. I agree with that. I'm in the latter camp. But I've also always said that, look, this is content, right? And we're now starting, the last couple of years, you see that at least here in the US on Peacock, they will actually have snippets of communications between the director and the riders. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you see it in if we compare ourselves, I like to compare cycling to motorsports, whether it be NASCAR, whether it be Formula One. You hear those communications. And to me, that's interesting content. So we've gotten there. I don't think radios are going away. And then of course, in and around that conversation, it leads to other things. Should we not have cycling computers? What was the other stuff they say? Should we not have
handlebars?
I
haven't heard the one about no handlebars. Although George did attempt to write a section of Paris-Roubaix without handlebars. That was
still got my bump here from that.
Ooh.
Anybody want to see it?
Ooh.
That's my Roubaix bump. You guys see it?
Maybe is that why your arm is so short? Because that one arm, when it's time to go to dinner with everybody, that right arm is just really short. It can't quite reach the pocket where the wallet is.
Speaking of dinner, I was going to make you nice dinner last night. I'm like, yo, what time are you coming home? Late. That was the only words. Why? What's up? Everything good? Nope. Didn't care.
And then it's fun if you know someone's stealing your, like in F1, it's all public, so they know people are listening, and then you get like the second layer where they give incorrect information to their own driver to try to trick the other teams. So,
well, that then becomes the question, right? In terms of this content and making race communication public, do you have another system where there's maybe another channel that isn't public? I don't know.
Maybe they should learn like Native American languages or something, and then they are the only people that know.
Well, we had that advantage with João because he spoke 5 languages.
Yeah,
and then we also had American slang that nobody, even if they spoke English, could understand. We had our little codes going in case they were listening to us.
Like how you doing?
How you doing?
And you guys would never manipulate it, right?
Like say that. How you doing?
How you doing?
That's pretty good. You know
that's pretty good
for a first go. That was exceptional.
Podung mofo.
Time for the Ventum trivia, excuse me, of the day. The Mûr-de-Bretagne is featured twice in the closing kilometers, was featured twice in the closing kilometers of Stage 7. A modern monument known for decisive moments in the early stages. How is it? Here we are, testing the boy from Plano. Oh boy, colloquially? How do you get this word? Where are we here? Don't stump me with these words. Colloquially?
Colloquially, no.
Colloquially.
Colloquially.
How? Let me say it again. How is it colloquially known?
Feed the animals.
Okay.
Sorry, go on.
Feed the animals. The Mûr-de-Bretagne featured twice in today's closing kilometers. A modern monument known for decisive moments. How is it colloquially known? That is your question of the day. Ventum trivia question of the day for Stage 7. And the answer to yesterday's question, which really wasn't a tough one. The answer to that one was 6 categorized climbs. Didn't interesting. We're in the meat of it now.
We are.
We're weekend. We made the. I don't know if it's a mistake, but we got ahead of ourselves. We looked at tomorrow's sprint stage, Sunday sprint stage, and then we maybe in honor of Bastille Day, the fact it's not your traditional Monday rest day. We looked at Monday's stage. If you folks want to get excited about what's coming, I know it's a weekend. You may have other things to do. Don't watch the tour, but go look at Monday's stage. Holy hell!
Yeah. And
it's inspiring.
When you guys see
it is
Massif Central, do you think bad roads?
That's terrible. I still have nightmares about the Massif Central, especially if you're trying to control the yellow jersey. It's big, wide open roads, small roads, and up. It's like straight up and down for 2-3K, straight down for 2-3K. And when you have these big roads, you have guys just flying in from behind with momentum, attacking you at the bottom of the climbs. As a team controlling the Tour de France, there's nothing worse than that. I can assure you.
That's right. George, always the ever nice guy, and always just very pleasant, very, very peaceful. When not in the Massif Central. I'd never seen the man, so he was channeling his inner Lance. Like he was so cranky.
Oh, yeah.
During those stages.
Well, it was up to me to control the breakaways. So it's a very stressful job.
I'm back there like, what's the big deal? Just let them.
Let these guys have some chances, George.
Yeah, just let them know. Let them sit out there a little bit. And
you guys, how hard that was.
Yeah, I mean, everything looks the same in the Massif Central.
Yeah,
it's all green and tough
and hot.
And hot.
Yeah. Let's see what the heat does. All right. Last 2 stages, last 2 chances for sprinters starting tomorrow and Sunday. Best of luck to them. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Spencer, thanks for coming out from behind.
Thanks for having me.
From behind. Be back tomorrow too.
Welcome to the party.
We'll see how. We'll see. Okay. I thought he behaved.
You're on probation.
I thought he was great today. Behaved today. He's going to meditate on his bike ride home and probably pick the winner for tomorrow. Johan, if you're listening, pick it up. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow.